Welcome to Sekou Style. This is your man Sekou Casserly. Today I am making a response video. Like I always tell you, make comment if you want for me to talk about something. So one of my valuable member from Lusaka, Zambia, Kelly, shout out to you. Thanks for making the comment. He said, this analysis make a lot of sense. Talking about a previous video that I made. He said, next, should you discuss why most diaspora Africans are discouraged from coming home? All right, as always, you know I am going to break it down for you. All right, I like my reasoning style, so I will go with reasons. After thinking about Kelly's point, I was like, why? And some of the reasons came. So are you ready for the reason? But anyway, before we get into the reason, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Again, for all my old soldiers who are following this, please like and comment. You know, we gotta support each other, man. Make this happen for me and everybody else. All right, guys, thank you so much. Now let's get into it. So 6 reasons why most diaspora Africans are discouraged from going back to Africa, right? Are you ready for the 6 reasons? All right, reason number 1, mentality. Again, when we migrate from Africa to a new country, whatever that is, usually what happens is that you come into the new country with a new system. People who have new mentality, a different way to approach most of the time than what you are used to. So your mentality starts to change as you adapt or assimilate or integrate into the new system. Your mentality starts to change. So you're becoming almost like a new person sometimes. Yes, you still have your old ways, but you're adapting to a new system and you start learning that. So that mentality, sometimes when you go back home, it becomes a problem because now you have a different mentality than what you were used to back home. Your mentality, it doesn't sink in. So it's like almost like you're communicating to people back home with a different frequency. You guys, before you left, you guys used to be on the same frequency. Now you're coming back with a different frequency. So it's really harder for a lot of people to adjust. I could talk from experience, you know. I have a couple of experiences, exactly what I'm talking about right now. Like I feel like when I'm talking to people sometime in my native Liberia, we are not at the same frequency because again, the mentality is totally different, right? So that's one reason. Reason number 2, lack of opportunities. Again, lack of opportunities, because a lot of time people want to go back to their countries in Africa. But you look at it, you're in the US or you're in Europe, you're in Asia, you're making a lot of money, you're doing good. Like you have a lot of opportunity, people actually appreciate you, they pay you at least based on your merit. And you know, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're educated, you understand. Even if you're not educated, even if you're working in the factory, but you get the opportunity to work, you get the opportunity to do what you want. But many times you go back home, you have to start begging people to get a job, you have to do this, and even doing the whole process is just cumbersome. It's like, why should I leave this comfort where I have all the opportunity to go somewhere else that, you know, even if it's my native country, to go there, but I don't have opportunity to go sit down there because I want to go home? Like that makes no sense. So you are where you are where your home is. Like whatever you are at that moment, that's your home. And if the diaspora, the West or the East provide you that opportunity that you need to flourish as a person, that becomes your home. So a lot of times that's why people don't really go back home, because there's no opportunity. And when you go there, you're fighting other people who are already there, trying their little best to get the little opportunity that is there. So lack of opportunity is definitely number 2. Lack of trusted people and institution. And this is, I take this very seriously because A lot of people that I talk to in the diaspora, some people really don't care. They don't want to go for a government job. They want to go create jobs. But when they go, they get duped. Because many of our brothers and sisters are hungry. They are not honest. They will do whatever it takes to get your money and then, just vanish. So again, lack of trust in people and institution. The government, most of the time, the government agency cannot be trusted. Corruption, they put a lot of red tape. So before you actually materialize an investment, you spend more than you really have to. And if you do similar spending in the West or wherever you are, you end up actually making a lot more, gaining a lot more out of your investment than when you go back home try to invest, because again, greedy people are just trying to eat from you. So that is one of the major reasons, really. Number 3. Number 4, lack of infrastructure. Again, I cannot overemphasize this enough. Lack of infrastructures in many African countries. Now we see a lot of changes. You see Rwanda is getting out there. Kenya is doing better. Nigeria is doing. But when you start looking at, South Africa is definitely doing better. Morocco, like I could name a lot of countries who are doing better when it comes to infrastructure, but still, it's not comparable to what a lot of people are used to in the West. When you go to the rural infrastructure, some countries are doing really good. But when I say infrastructure, I'm looking at hospitals, right? The healthcare system. Many African countries are still struggling to really give people the basic that you are used to in the diaspora. You're looking at the education system. So when you're leaving the West, you want to take your children with you, they have to go to school. Now, that become an issue. Which school you're going to go to that they are compatible, they are very competitive, that could be able to compete with the other system that you're coming from. The healthcare, the school, the rural infrastructure. I mean, there's so many other, power, electricity, major issues. Some countries, I've been through a lot of African countries, some countries, they don't even have the power like that. Like in my native country, for instance, sometimes there's power today, tomorrow there's not. They're rationally between different, communities, and sometimes you're not even sure when the power gonna come, so everybody's on generators. That becomes a problem. You don't want to leave the West where you have these things in abundance, and then because you want to go home, you go home to that. So that's one of the reasons. Again, family issues, right? So you are in the West. I could relate to this also. You are in the West. You're doing okay. You create a family, because obviously when you left Africa, you come here. Many of us came here young. You grew up. You get married, or create a family, whatever that means to you. You create a family, and then all of a sudden, how are you gonna leave your family to go back home? And if you guys are going together, that's also another issue, because all the children moving them, doing all these things, it becomes very cumbersome of a process to do. And you already established a life here. The children are born in a different country. So just packing everybody and moving definitely become a major problem. Now, a man or a woman try to leave to go back home, that put a strain on their marriage. So family issue become a real issue that people have to put into consideration. Number 6, last but not least, we are looking at financial issue. Again, you could do all these things. A lot of time we think, when you think about the diaspora, or when you think people are in the West or in the East, we automatically think people are having lots of money. Oh, my brother is in Europe, my brother is in America, he or she, my sister is in America, they must have a lot of money. Unfortunately, that's not the case all the time. Yes, some people are blessed. Some people have been very fortunate to have a lot of money compared to what they used to have back home. But some people are just trying to survive in the West. They are just trying to survive, living day by day, hustling using every energy, they have to just survive. So when you see them sending you those penny, like $1, $2, appreciate them because they really don't have the money. Some people just don't have the money to wake up and leave and go back home. Because the notion here is it's easy to leave home, but it's harder to go back home because when you're going back home, you're expected to bring what? Money, education, fame, whatever you are expected to come in, ready to be somebody. And that become a real issue for a lot of people. They don't have what it takes to go back home. So ladies and gentlemen, these are 6 reasons I think that makes it hard for a lot of our brothers and sisters to move back home. So Kelly, hopefully I answered your questions, or at least I elaborated on some of the reasons why our brothers and sisters are not moving back home. So, hey, please make comment, like the video. Let's keep this rolling. Really appreciate it. Keep sharing. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. Thanks.